Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be some of my tips on breastfeeding. So let's get right into it. I have a couple of tips that I personally go by. So I have 3 boys. One just turned 4. I have a 2-year-old who'll be 3 next month in October, and then I have a 4-month-old. Now, my first 2, I breastfed probably about 2 weeks, and then I gave up. The reason I gave up with them was pretty much because of a lack of knowledge and understanding of exactly how breastfeeding works and what it does for your child and for you. I really didn't know. Like, I kind of just thought that it was equal to formula. I had my kids 13 months apart, so it wasn't much of a difference with them. But my last child I decided to stick it out and do more research for whatever reason. Actually, my sister-in-law breastfed for two years, and I was like, I wonder why, and just kind of got more into it as to looking at her. So, the first thing I want to put out about breastfeeding is understand and research cluster feeding. I don't know how many mommies I've saw or seen on Facebook or a group or talked to that didn't understand why their baby was constantly eating. And even I went through that when I first started. I'm like, I want to give up because he's eating all the time. I can't tell if he's getting full because you don't actually measure breast milk. Obviously, he's just sucking from your nipple. So, yeah, cluster feeding is when they actually feed for almost every hour. It could be every 4 to 5 minutes, could be every 30 minutes. They feed. And the reason for this is because they are actually trying to help establish your supply, or they're going through a growth spurt. Now, you can actually look up what time they actually go through growth spurt, because there's specific times of the month or specific milestones they hit that they actually start going through growth spurts, and they might cluster feed again. I would advise you as a breastfeeding mom to look up cluster feeding and figure out exactly how that works, because that will help you understand why your baby is eating so much. The second thing I would say is to invest in some nipple cream. The lanolin nipple cream, I heard, is actually not really good for your baby to suck on while you put it on your nipple. So I actually bought this nipple butter called Earth Mama Angel Baby nipple butter, and I got it from Target. I want to say it was like $12 or so, and I'll actually show you it. Let me go get it. This is what I have, and I've had this since he was probably about a month old. So, and it's pretty good. It works pretty well. It's got a nice little chocolatey smell to it, and you can leave it on as he eats. This is the consistency of it on the inside. It looks like it's grainy, but it's still kind of smooth. Anyway, so invest in some nipple butter, because in the beginning my nipples were cracked and sore and sometimes even bleeding, and they do tell you that if they are doing all that, you're probably not latched right. But my baby was latched right, and he was definitely getting enough, and my nipple still was pretty cracked and sore. So, but you have to fight through that. It probably will last about a good month, honestly, and if you fight through that, you'll feel way better, like after about 4 to 6 weeks, I want to say. But you have to fight. You really do. The next thing is, it's recommended for you not to pump in the first 6 weeks, because it can actually cause an oversupply. And you might think, oversupply, that sounds good. I would want to create more milk than my baby could drink just to be on the safe side. But an oversupply can actually cause mastitis. And mastitis is when your milk ducts are inflamed. And this could actually help you to dry up. So, and it can be very painful. So it's recommended not to pump within the first 6 weeks. So I would invest in a Haka. Now, this is actually not the Haka. This is Nature Bond. I found this on Amazon for I think $11. That's my baby. My husband has him. Anyway, and what you do is you just squeeze it tight, and you see this part right here. Put it on your nipple. I'm not gonna show you, but you can put it on your nipple and let go, and it'll suction on your nipple, and it'll slowly but surely take milk out while your baby feeds on the other side. And that helped me so much because it created my stash within the first weeks like that, because every time my baby would only feed from one breast, so when he would be feeding, I would put this one on there because it leaks, so it catches the leak, and it has a slow but like good suction, and it doesn't actually pumps, but it is like a suction that takes the milk out, and it helps to start your letdown. So I would definitely not pump in the 6 weeks and try to invest in one of these. But honestly, right now, this one, it doesn't really work for me anymore. I don't know if because I washed it so much. I'm not sure how that works. But what you could do is just buy another one because it's $11. So, yeah. The second thing I have on here, or actually what is this? 1, 2, 3, fourth thing I have is nurse, nurse, nurse. As much as you can, as aggravating as it is, as exhausting as it is, as tiresome as it is, keep nursing your baby, because the more nursing is supply and demand. So the more your baby wants and the more your baby drinks, the more your body makes. So it helps to increase your supply. And even though it can get very exhausting, trust me, I know. I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old when I had my baby, so I was exhausted all the time from nursing. But the only way I think my supply was where it is because I kept nursing and kept nursing and kept nursing as much as he wanted to. The next thing I have is invest in a boppy. Some people say that they really didn't use theirs, but for me, I still use it, and my baby is 4 months. So anytime I'm using it, I put it, like if I'm doing the football hold, I'll put it on the side of me so he can be a little comfy. If I'm doing it regularly, I sit it in front of me, and it honestly just helps me to make sure that he's comfortable while he's eating, so I don't strain my back as much, because sometimes you bring your breast to him when you should be bringing his mouth to you. So I can kind of lay back sometimes and just put it in front of me. It works better that way. And then the last thing that I have that I wanted to say is that what helped me was, when you're breastfeeding, the only indicator that tells you that your baby is getting enough is if they get 4 to 6 wet diapers a day within 24 hours. So what helped me was getting these diapers with the wet indicator in them. I don't know if you can see, but that yellow line, it would turn blue to let me know he peed. And so I was able to make sure that he peed enough every time and count the fact that he had 4 to 6 diapers. Now, you obviously don't have to be that obsessive, but because of who I am and how I am, it made me feel better to know, like, okay, he peed this time. Like, I know how much he peed because the line is a little bit blue or it's all the way blue. For me, it helped. It gave me a peace of mind. So get the wet indicator ones, and I think all diapers pretty much can carry these, but I had some diapers from my baby shower that was Huggies, and they didn't have the wet indicator in them. So obviously I still used them, but it was very annoying to kind of have to look at the diaper and say, wonder how much did he pee? Did he pee enough? But when you have the wet indicator, it's a lot easier. So yeah, those are pretty much my tips for breastfeeding. If you have any questions, put them down below. I can't really think of anything else that you could do, but just breastfeeding is an amazing journey. Like, I love it, love it, love it, and I'm so happy that I decided to exclusively breastfeed. I think my baby has only had 3 bottles, and I pumped it. I don't like pumping, but I'm gonna go back to work soon, so I'm gonna have to pump. But yeah, and I'm gonna have my husband bring my baby in so you guys can see him. So let me see. Yep. Oh, the last thing I have to say, I also downloaded the baby app, and this helps track feeding, it helps track diapers, wet diapers, dirty diapers, mixed diapers, all of the above. It is an amazing app, and I'm going to get the app. Okay, yeah, so the app is called Baby Tracker, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I use it still to this day, but again, you don't have to be as obsessive as me, but I personally just like to know for sure what my baby is doing and how much he's eating, how long he's eating. I like being able to track that. So that was the last thing. I'm just going to introduce my baby to you guys. Zarel, can you bring me the baby? And then let you guys see how huge he is. Again, he's exclusively breastfed. This is Ezra. Ezra. He's looking at Daddy. Look at the camera. Look at the camera, Ezra. Look at these thighs. And yep, that's pretty much it, guys. So may God richly bless you and yours as you continue to follow after Jesus. Bye, guys.